Hello everybody. These here are ripening beauty plums. I've been doing a little series on these guys. I think I chose a bad year to do it, but that's alright. Here they are finally starting to come in very nicely. This is one of my trees here. This is the end of April. And normally these are ripening up March, mid-March, early March. We are way behind this year. Everything's a bit off this year. 2020. Everything's way off this year. These are no exception. They are about a month and a half behind. But everything's a bit behind. Even my mulberry trees. We had an extremely mild winter with just a couple days of pretty cool weather. And on top of that, we were extremely dry, which it's not the cold that they needed, it was the moisture, which really set them back. If we'd gotten our normal rainfall amounts, I'm going to walk to the other side of my driveway here and we'll look at the other ones ripening up. But like I said, extremely dry, and that set them back pretty hard, and they are looking a bit rough. And there's some ripening up, but they're pretty loaded this year regardless. Look at all those fruits. Can you get a good look on those? These really probably should have been thinned. I'm gonna end up losing this branch most likely. Some of these are still 3-4 weeks away from being ripe, which is insane. I say insane a lot. I think I've said that in multiple videos. But normally, they're finishing up their season coming into May, not just starting it. Sri-Lankan weevils. Can you see that? Terrible pest here in Florida. But anyway, there's a peanut cover crop coming in nice. I think in one of my videos I had peas in. Yes, I did. Now it's the peanuts. And there's rows of tree spinach and about 30 banana varieties I just put in. I'll have to do another video on those. But here we are, looking at my beauty plums. And if you haven't seen the other videos on them, check those out. These are a seedling selection from a Scarlet Beauty. And these are self-fruitful. Almost, or pretty much, 0 chill hours. And they're adapted pretty well to the Gulf Coast, Florida area. Very rugged plums. I don't water, I don't fertilize. They get mulch and cover crops. That's about it. And you can see this is an off year, 100%, and they are still loaded with plums. Easily 10-15 pounds of plums per tree. And these guys are naturally on the smaller side. They're not very large plums. But the tree is not very large. The fruit, in a good year, with plenty of moisture, will get the size of an extra large egg, a jumbo egg. This year, it's looking like maybe ping pong ball, golf ball for some of them, which about half the size they normally reach. And every branch is normally loaded with plums. You can see there's entire branches with nothing on them, which is very uncharacteristic of this variety. As much fruit is on them, this is half of what they can normally bear in a year. And these trees are 3 years old this year. Yep. And you can see, look at all those plums. You really shouldn't allow that many plums per little branch, because you will end up with really small plums. Not that it bothers the flavor at all, but it stresses the trees pretty good, especially with as dry as it's been. We're just now getting into our rainy season, so hopefully we'll pick up nice right when the fruit is ripening up. And this is a pretty long season plum. They normally ripen up over a month or so, but not this sporadic. Some of these plums will be ripe in a day or two, and others, like I said, probably a month still to go. On a good year, they'll have fruit set like this in January or February and be ripening March going into April. This year, these guys will still be ripening fruit come June by the looks of it. Which I'm not complaining. I like to have good long seasons, but this is a very low chill, extremely early plum, so that normally doesn't happen. And you can see these guys, I know I keep saying it, but just loaded with fruit. I always tell people if it can survive me, it's probably worth growing, because I tend to plant it and let it go. It either grows and produces, or it's not something that I have in my property. And these guys are definitely capable of withstanding me. So if you actually take care of them, fertilize them, water them, I do prune them because they do get pretty full once the growth cycle starts. But if you take care of them, these guys are so productive. It's another, just blow your mind how much food you can get off of one tree with just a little bit of care. So much. And remember, this is definitely an off year for them. These guys bear branches everywhere. Look at that. Normally wouldn't happen in a good year. That branch would be bent down like the rest, loaded with plums. There's a 1-year-old tree right there. Just put in around this time last year, and even she's got quite a few plums on her. You can't probably see it too well, but there are beans. I threw caution to the wind and put bush beans in the ground in the middle of April in Florida, which is ill-advised. Bush beans don't normally do too well, you know, once our days start hitting the high 90s, which we've already had a couple of those. But why not? 'Tis the year to be growing a lot of food, or you might not have a good year later on. But look at, there's a nice plum. So I'll let you guys go here. These are beauty plums on citation rootstock. Absolutely loaded. So, grow food, guys. Grow things that, even in bad years, will give you food like that. Because this is what we all need to be doing. We can feed the world, or at least ourselves. Don't ever fall for those lies. See you later, guys. Grow food. Find yourself some beauty plums. Get them planted. Grafted. These guys will have plums the first year on them. They grow extremely quick and are extremely productive. See you later.